What would happen if you tried to beat Terraria exactly how the achievements appeared? What does that mean? Well, for this video, it means that we'll beat Terraria exactly in the order that the achievements appear up here, without clicking on it. The reason is that the order they appear in when you click on the list and how they appear without clicking on it are actually different orders. Both start with chopping a tree and making a workbench, but then we see our first divergence, where up here it says to make a hammer, but if you click on it, then the making a suitable house achievement is next. Once you make a hammer, the suitable housing one appears up here as well, so the difference is very small. But who is to say what other differences there might be and how major they might become? Let's see how well someone would be taught the game if all they ever did were the achievements in the order that they appear. Next one is survive my first night. Okay, which is actually one that in the achievement order one that I did before wasn't even one that appeared. So there will be some of those extra achievements it has me do. I just don't know which ones. While we wait for night, we collect some starting loot and see this fairy. Well, that's an achievement. We'll do our best to avoid getting achievements that are not next in line, but ones like this are more incidental and not consequential in any way. So we're only allowed to do things that are either never mentioned in the achievements, what is currently prompted by the next achievement, and if we happen upon some of the more meaningless ones, then that's fine. To avoid stumbling upon some of those achievements, we'll wait for night to end to see what we can do next. Now we can mine our first nugget of ore. Let's go into the caves. There we go. Oh, now you want me to craft an anvil. Okay. Collecting lead, we craft an anvil. Next is the matching attire achievement. Now, matching attire, we don't actually need matching attire at all. We just need attire. It's kind of weird. It's called matching attire, but you don't need matching attire. You just need to be wearing attire. Like, what's the deal with that? Now to smash a life crystal. Okay, well, we found a dead man's chest. That's cool, I guess. We can't loot it though, not until we find a life crystal. It took way too long, but eventually I found a life crystal and broke it, meaning I can return to that chest I found earlier and loot it, because next up is looting a golden chest. There's only one problem. Oh! This doesn't count because it's a dead man's chest. It actually needs to be a gold one, not a dead man's chest one. Despite half-decent caves, there really isn't a whole lot going on in them, least of all golden chests. I was exploring and mining everywhere but couldn't find one of these chests to save my life. This isn't supposed to be the hard part. It got to the point I decided to use a spelunker potion, but let's just say crawdads are really dangerous. I even tried looting an ivy chest, but nope, only gold ones count. There's one. It's a dead man's chest, isn't it? It totally is. We found two dead man's chests, but we cannot find one stinking regular gold one. Oh, but it gets even better because a third gold chest I found was also a dead man's chest. I'm pretty sure this means the game is mocking me, but hey, boomstick. A gold chest, gold chest, gold chest, gold chest, gold chest. It took forever. Right after that, we need a mana star, and of course, it's day right now, so sleeping we will go. Collect our stars, make a mana star. And now I gotta defeat the Eye of Cthulhu. Simple enough. So far, the order has been pretty solid, even if you ignore all the incidental stuff and only did what they said. And now that we got our first boss, we might be doing nothing but fighting bosses from here on out. But then something weird happened. The next thing we need to do is break a shadow orb, and you would naturally think right after that would be the Brain of Cthulhu on this world, but it's not. Oh. Next is find a beehive? As I'll soon learn, this isn't because the achievements want me to go to the hive and then back to the brain or some other thing, but because, for some inexplicable reason, the Brain of Cthulhu and Eater of Worlds achievements are not going to appear ever in that slot. The achievements have completely skipped them for reasons I don't understand. If I were to hazard a guess, it'd be because there are two evil bosses, and so rather than teaching the game to prioritize one over the other, depending on the world evil, the developers simply didn't have them prioritized at all, assuming people would figure it out after breaking more orbs. We find our hive then, and sure enough, Queen Bee is next. And while I collect some more gear for the fight, I wanted to mention how interesting and perhaps strange I find it that Queen Bee is the second boss listed when following the achievements this way. King Slime hasn't even been mentioned, and the evil bosses have been skipped. Dear Clops doesn't have to appear, that's fine. I just know that when I was a less skilled player, it took me ages before I figured out how to beat Queen Bee. For the longest time, I only ever fought her in hard mode because I was that bad. So pushing Queen Bee so early strikes me as a little weird. With the knowledge I have, beating her at this phase is quite doable. And I guess if the developers assume you beat the evil boss, then this spot makes more sense. So I guess the main issue is that the evil bosses have been ignored. Naturally, Skeletron comes after Queen Bee. Why is Cativa here? Sure, I'll take Cativa. This is where not having the Goblin Army is starting to hurt as well. They could spawn after breaking an orb and thus be incidental, but I might just do what I did in my other achievement order run and not beat them for as long as possible, just to see if they eventually will appear in that little slot. But them not being in the order is really weird considering just how important the Goblin Tinkerer upgrades are. The fascinating part of this challenge is that it could also limit me in the fact the Tavern Keep does not spawn until after beating the evil boss specifically, meaning the Old One's army is completely out of reach unless the evil bosses suddenly appear. This might not be an issue, but in more limited challenge runs, the Old One's army is often the default backup for good gear. That's enough yapping though. We get Dungeon Heist, and next is going to the Underworld, and after that is not defeating the wall, but getting the Molten Pickaxe. It's great that this is what happens next, so the player will actually be prepared for mining hard mode ores, but if we can't defeat an evil boss, how are we supposed to get a Molten Pickaxe? Fishing is now an option to get Hellstone, but I need lava bait, or one of the lava-proof fishing items only the angler drops. But if we're doing things in order, we can't do a single angler quest, meaning we can't get the golden bug net either. So fishing is off the table. What can I possibly do then? Well, the answer is pretty simple actually. Just fight the evil boss and don't kill it. The big brain! It's particularly easy to do this with the Brain of Cthulhu, so we'll collect our necessary tissue samples, make a pickaxe, mine Hellstone, make another pickaxe, and now our next objective is to defeat the wall without any Goblin Tinkerer upgrades. And technically, the Like a Boss achievement has not appeared, but if you have seen my previous achievement order video, you know that I really struggle with accidentally obtaining boss summons, so we'll spawn the wall by dropping the guide into the lava and reset our achievements in hard mode to see if the Like a Boss achievement appears later. You might also be wondering why I am riding a mount, as that's an achievement, but not one that has appeared. Well, you only get the achievement if you actually equip the mount, but I learned this run that you can actually keep it in your inventory and use it freely without unlocking the achievement. The only thing I have to avoid is equipping it. So that makes finishing off the wall not that bad. And I swear you usually get that beating the wall achievement and the it's hard achievement at the same time, but for whatever reason, it was delayed slightly in this run. From there, I'm told to break Crimson Altars and mine a little hard mode ore, which brings me to the achievement for equipping wings. Yeah, oh, I should have been looking at the screen. Okay, good thing I am a pro and I know exactly how to handle this. Where? There it is. Yeah. I've also decided that now that we're in hard mode, we should make things a little more interesting. I've been playing where I can use anything I want so long as I don't get the achievement for it, like how I weaseled my way around using a mount. But let's spice things up and not allow myself to use anything that the achievements mention. So no mounts anymore, no moon events at all, no Goblin Tinkerer, even if the army does appear. I think that'll make things a little more challenging, maybe a little more interesting. With ores mined, armor made, and lots of souls and knights in Icar Farm, I finally remembered to actually make wings, which revealed our next achievement is to defeat the 3 mechs. Another departure from playing the game in the order that they appear on the list, which also means we have to wait for them to spawn naturally. Oh, that's gonna suck. I wonder if we're ever gonna be allowed to get the boss summon. Now is when the Goblin Army decided to appear for the first time. They have to be cleared out in order for the mech bosses to spawn naturally, so we can't avoid them like I have done before. But what we can and still will avoid is the Goblin Tinkerer, and so also won't use any of the drops from this event, not even this delightful Shadowflame Hex doll. I could absolutely use that, but no. One weapon we can get and will farm for is the Life Drain, a key part to my strategy for defeating the mech bosses, because the Destroyer will melt like ice cream on a warm day. You'll see soon enough. This first mimic dropped the Flesh Knuckles, unfortunately, but they happen to be warding, which means it's a plus 12 defensive boost, and since I can't combine any accessories, it's actually kind of useful. Still need the Life Drain though, so we'll farm more Souls at Night, slay another Crimson Mimic, and Life Drain! There we go! I always do this way later in progression than I should, but let's set up planter boxes for potions. It'll also double as an arena, which we're also going to be making much larger in preparation for the mechs. With our limitations for upgrades, we're actually about as ready as we can be at this point, but we'll spend a little time farming the Hollowed Tundra for a couple more mage weapon options, yet I didn't get any of those, but one of these instead. The Frozen Key? No shot! Dude, my luck in the runs lately has been crazy. I just don't know if I'll actually get to use it though. Somehow I doubt that's going to appear in the order. It'd be really nice if it did. Frost Hydra Staff wouldn't be half bad to get. Oh, wait, hold on. Terrible Night. We finally got a mech. Anybody know which one that is? I always forget which mech is which. Before the battle starts, though, there's actually some new movement tech that I've discovered with the Ram Rune that I'm going to show off here. See, its stomp ability still works with gravitation potions. So against the twins, for example, I want to be able to move so fast that they can hardly catch up or hit me. With some better weapons to take advantage of this movement, mostly like homing stuff, this could be a great way of beating the twins or maybe other bosses. That, and it'd be smart to keep fall immunity on, which you would normally have at this stage if you could upgrade your accessories. So problem with my strategy. I'm gonna make a short or something about how this could potentially be used in other ways, but yeah, that's some new movement tech for you to try out. There's really not a lot that can be done now. I just have to sleep until the mechs show up, which invites other things to happen while waiting, and despite beating the pirates, I once again won't be allowed to use any of their drops, which actually included 2 barrel launchers, and there was other pirates later that also dropped 2 barrel launchers. I got 5 barrel launchers from 2 pirate invasions. But with them cleared, it's time for another epic sleeping montage. And while we did that, I live streamed this whole experience, and it's on Twitch and YouTube. And we looked at the Terraria comic book. Yes, that's a thing that exists. I took a look at the Terraria shop, #NotSponsored, and check out that Wall of Fresh mug. Make sure to use code BIN for no discounts, and doesn't help me at all. Oh, hold up. It's raining. We can get a Nimbus Rod. All my luck was used up on that frozen key. I can't even use, so some 40 Nimbuses later, I still can't get the Nimbus Rod. But hey, the twins are coming at the end of it, and we'll have to deal with a blood moon at the same time because yippee, Terraria RNG. Oh yeah, I forgot I also had a battle potion active this whole time, but I mean, we didn't need all this nonsense. Finally! Oh my goodness, okay, we got 1 mech! Another day-night cycle later, and Destroyer is appearing, and I'm just going to let you watch and see what the life drain can do to this guy, even with a minimal build. Those 2 mechs didn't take too long to spawn, but Skeletron Prime was a whole different story. We slept, and we slept, and we slept some more. Days passed, and then weeks, then months, years even. We slept through them all until Skeletron Prime finally made his way to us. Hey, there we go. If I die, if I lose, I'm gonna be so upset. The battle itself was pretty uneventful, but I won. That's the important part. Finally! From there, it's pretty straightforward. Craft the pickaxe or Drax, mine some chlorophyte, consume a life root, and then we need to prepare for Plantera. Here's the thing. As a mage main, the Rainbow Rod is one of the best weapon options at this point. I just can't craft it because there's an achievement for that, and it didn't appear in the order. The best option then is to get the Poison Staff and craft the Venom Staff from it, but that requires I kill black recluses, and I'm not allowed to enter spider caves. The question is, will they spawn if I'm standing on the outskirts of their cave? Okay. We got a spider. Oh, you know what? I also have to get them to actually come up out of the spider cave. Oh, wait, there's the Venom Staff right now. Or Poison Staff. Let's go. All right, sweet. Well, that makes life easier. I think doing that still followed the general gist of the rules we're going. I think it did. And with that weapon being upgraded soon enough, we'll explode an arena, place down platforms, and take down the plant real nice and easy like. All right, Temple Raider. We got the Nettle Burst. That's nice. From there, we just raid the Jungle Temple. But there's actually something here that makes the whole achievement order thing impossible, because once we enter, we have to fight Golem next, but the achievement for acquiring a boss summon still hasn't appeared. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. This is actually the phase of the game where I think that becomes unavoidable. I had to get the like a boss achievement. There's no way around it. I could just end the run and say that we can't beat the game in the order the achievements appear and not use the boss summon, but that'd be stupid. So I guess for Golem, we're forced into using it, but I mean, this is more of a fact-finding mission to see how well the achievements would lead a new player if they never thought to click on the box, and incidental things like this would totally naturally happen for them anyways, so this makes sense to me. But let's fight Golem in what might just be the smallest Golem arena I have ever seen, making this battle way more difficult than it ever needed to be. Get get the lovely Staff of Earth from Golem, and now we just need to get a rare drop from the Harmo Dungeon enemies, which is still strange to me that Ectoplasm does not count as one of those drops, but it's used for the art for the achievement. The real hope down here, though, is that opening a biome chest is going to be the next achievement that appears, but alas, we have no such luck. Didn't get a single mage staff down here, but was able to collect enough Ectoplasm for Spectre armor. I just need to also mine more Chlorophyte because I can't shimmer my current armor to get Chlorophyte bars back. Even so, I totally forgot to actually make the armor before challenging the cultist, against whom I realized I don't actually have any great single target weapons, so the battle was a bit slow going with only the Staff of Earth, but the occasional mistake could be made up for since this weapon does great against a dragon, and slowly but surely, cultist fell. After that, we just need to defeat the pillars and then Moonlord. The pillars are simple enough, and I've been learning that standing on a tall hill seems like a really simple way to cheese Vortex Pillar. Don't understand exactly how or why, but it seems to work. We got to face Moonlord after that, but the thing is that without any mounts, Empress or Fish on Wings or any other accessory upgrades, we actually have a pretty sorry excuse for a build against this boss. If I wasn't intimately familiar with his patterns, then this would be a death sentence. Not that I first tried it, and if we are still outlawing boss summons, only allowing it for Golem, then that would mean we gotta take down Cultist and the Pillars a second time, and every other time that we fail the Moonlord fight. But we know the last achievement, so we'll take down Moonlord, and once he's dead, the achievements will no longer appear next to your inventory, which is kind of strange to me. I feel like they should all still appear there in whatever order they happen to be in. If we were to make this into a challenge run, where if you did the wrong achievement, you start over, that would be brutal, and I did attempt that in my achievements run video that I've been referencing throughout this video, and you can watch that here. I also attempted a very similar run to this, but instead of the achievements, I did exactly what the guide told me, and that video is here as well.